station of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
It's a Wednesday matinee in downtown Phoenix, the final game on this homestand before a long three-city road trip, the finale of a brief two-game visit from the Toronto Blue Jays. It's D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. Your pitching matchup this afternoon. Patrick Corbin on the mound for the Diamondbacks and the right-hander Marcus Stroman for the Blue Jays. And Bob, that means he'll have to deal with Brandon Drury.
Brandon Drury's having himself a real nice run. We've seen him really good at times, at other times struggling a little bit at the plate, and you have to keep in mind all the while learning a new position out there in left field, but we've seen Brandon driving that ball to right center lately, and that's a good sign that he's going well.
Yeah, the extra base hits have been coming in bunches like they were earlier this year, it seems.
Yeah, and ideally the home runs will follow the extra base hits. You don't try to hit home runs, but the guy's very quick, and when he gets pitches on the inside part of the plate like he did earlier this season, he can drive him out of the park.
Well, there's only one team that hits balls out of the park more often than this Blue Jays bunch. Edwin Encarnacion had the big hit last night, a three-run homer.
And it just goes up and down the lineup, too, there. Without Joey Bats, Jose Bautista, they still have plenty of thunder in the middle of that lineup. We've seen it on display here last night.
So here we go, the D-backs and the Blue Jays. First pitch is next from Chase Field on Fox Sports Arizona. Backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Lone Butte Casino. Get in on big wins. By Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By Mattress Firm, save money, sleep happy. And by Gigablast, 100 times more powerful internet from Cox. Bring on tomorrow. Hey, warm Wednesday here in the Valley of the Sun. Nice and cool inside Chase Field. Patrick Corbin walking out from the Diamondbacks bullpen, set to take on the Blue Jays. Marcus Stroman, first pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona. Welcome back inside Chase Field. We are set to go on this Wednesday matinee day getaway game. The Diamondbacks and the Toronto Blue Jays, who are still without Jose Bautista. They think he might be back next week. He's got a left foot injury. Still, Toronto second in the major leagues in home runs, behind only the Orioles. And Bob, John Gibbons' Blue Jays 11 over 500. They're only a game and a half out of the lead in the AL East.
And we talked about it during last night's telecast. I think the Blue Jays unfairly are categorized as just an offensive ball club, but they can pitch and they can play some defense. Here's how John Gibbons will line them up today. Darwin Barney getting a start in left field today. Josh Donaldson at third base. Edwin Encarnacion over at first. Russell Martin doing the catching. Troy Tulowitzki at short. Kevin Pillar out in center field with Junior Lake in right. Devin Travis at second base, and Marcus Stroman, the right-hander, on the mound.
Yeah, Michael Saunders, who was in left field last night, has had to leave the Blue Jays for personal reasons today, they say. Your Arizona Ford starter for the Diamondbacks is Patrick Corbin. 4 wins in 19 starts. The ERA now at 5.25. It's been a real struggle for Patrick lately. The Rockies' Chad Bettis is the only pitcher in the National League who's given up more earned runs.
Yeah, it's really time for Patrick to turn it around. I'm sure he's been trying. I'm sure he's been searching the video room, his pitching coach, his teammates, everything to try to find that magic that Patrick had a couple of years ago. It's really been a struggle for him lately, especially keeping the ball in the ballpark.
He has won just twice in his last 10 starts. Our eye on defense for the D-backs, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Center.
Brandon Drury once again getting the start out there in left field. He'll be flanked by Michael Bourne in center and Yasmani Tomas over in right field. It'll be Lamb and Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Segura, Goldschmidt on the right side. Tuffy Gosewich getting a start behind home plate this afternoon, and Patrick Corbin, the lefty, on the mound.
And there you see the crew chief, Dana DeMuth. He has the plate this afternoon with the balls and strikes. Mike Estabrook at first base, Ramon DeJesus at second, and Greg Gibson is at third. Before we get started, BB, it's time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, I just referred to it with Patrick Corbin. Got to keep it in the yard. This is a Blue Jays offense that looks to lift the ball in the air. We know the ball carries extremely well here at Chase Field. Patrick's had some issues in the past. Very important for him today to keep it in the yard.
And again, no Michael Saunders for Toronto, so they'll play today short-handed. He's left the team due to personal reasons, so it's Darwin Barney in left field, and leading off, the former Chicago Cub. Final game for the D-backs on this homestand. After this one, we are on an airplane for Cincinnati, where we begin a long 10-game, 3-city road trip. We'll visit the Reds, the Brewers, and the Dodgers.
Not a lefty to be seen in this Blue Jays lineup today.
Out there, very right-hand heavy against the lefty Patrick Corbin. We are set to go as Barney steps in.
I had to do a double take when I saw the Blue Jays lineup. Darwin Barney in left field. This guy was a Gold Glove second baseman for the Cubs not too long ago. Finds himself filling that utility role here for John Gibbons.
293 and 3 home runs. His career has taken on something of a new life for the Blue Jays. Only 17 big league games last season. Spent most of the year in the Dodgers AAA system. Oh, Gene Segura broke the wrong way and got stuck. A leadoff single for Darwin Barney.
What was that odd looking? Watch Gene Segura move to his right. The ball goes back to his left. When he tried to stop his momentum, he did the splits out there on the right side of the infield. Just didn't pick that ball up off the bat at all.
So Barney aboard for the dangerous Josh Donaldson. 306 and 23 home runs. Donaldson last night, 3 singles and an RBI. Ball 1 from Patrick Corbin. Donaldson having another big year after winning a league MVP award last season. Leading the American League in both runs scored and walks. He's 4th in the AL in on base percentage. That one gets behind Tuffy and goes to the backstop, and Barney will get second.
Odd to see a ball get by Tuffy, especially early in the game. Just reaches across, tries to backhand that ball. Makes a bad hop off the mid all the way to the backstop. Not a great start so far for the battling Diamondbacks.
Little sloppy here. Wild pitch charge to Patrick Corbin. And Tuffy out there immediately. Let's hit the reset button here.
You're talking about Josh Donaldson in the batter's box here. One of the great things about interleague play, I heard you and the governor talking about it on Snake Talk last night. You know, some people like it, some people think it's run its course, but one thing I like about it is we've seen a lot of highlights of Josh Donaldson hitting home runs and making great defensive plays, but when you see him play a full ball game and see the intensity that he brings to this Blue Jays lineup, that's one of the things I like about interleague play.
This one is driven deep to right field. Yasmani Tomas will watch it go. It's in the pool. A splashdown for Josh Donaldson, his 24th, and just like that, it's 2-0 Toronto. Well, Bob, your key to the game, keep it in the yard. Not so much.
Well, this is not an easy team to keep it in the yard. Ideally, that's a solo home run if you get Darwin Barney out. Gene Segura with the misplay went as a hit, but Donaldson barrels one up to the opposite field. We know he's got tremendous pull power, shows his opposite field power on this one.
The 20th home run in his 20th start given up this year by Patrick Corbin. Edwin Encarnacion had a big home run last night. And there's ball 1.
3 hitters, and Patrick has fallen behind all 3 Blue Jays hitters so far, and you know this is an aggressive enough lineup as it is without putting him into good hitters counts.
The bringer of rain, that's what he's known as on the Twitter. That's his nickname, and he brought the water up from the pool on that one. 2-1 on Encarnacion, 266 and 25 home runs. He leads the majors with 84 RBIs. And another guy who says he sees the ball really well in this ballpark. He loves hitting at Chase Field, he says. Talked a lot last night about the hitter's eye. Called it, well, it's just basically a really big green wall back there, and he loves it. And as you can see, he's done his share of damage. 9 homers in 16 games in this ballpark. D-backs have the shift on. They overload the left-hand side, and it's a rough start here for Patrick.
Catcher, number 55.
They'll bring up Russell Martin. Back behind the plate, day game after a night game. 1 for 4 last night was Martin. 232 on the year. Don't know if he was being extra careful with Encarnacion or not, but the walks, Bob, are becoming a concern for Patrick. Really since about the middle of May. In his first 8 starts this year, he walked more than one batter in a start, only twice. But over his last 11 starts, he's issued 31 walks in 59 innings. And he's behind on Martin 1-0. Couldn't catch up to the fastball, and Patrick's ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
I mentioned no left-handed hitters in the Blue Jay lineup today. Sometimes if you have an all right-handed lineup, it actually makes it easier for a left-handed pitcher because he can try to lock in on that outside corner with the tailing sinking fastball. He can try to lock in on that back foot with the slider and not have to worry about a left-handed hitter in the middle of the lineup to change your patterns.
Good slider right there from Patrick, and he gets his first out.
I mean, back in the day, we used to play the Atlanta Braves with Tom Glavine, and we always felt, and a lot of teams in the National League felt, like you had to put a left-handed hitter or 2 in the lineup against Glavine just to get him off of that outside corner. He would just live out there at the knees off the outside corner to a right-handed hitter all day long if you allowed him. But you stick a lefty or 2 in that lineup, now he's got to make an adjustment.
Troy Tulowitzki, 1 for 4 last night. He singled and struck out. And again, Patrick falls behind 1-0. Make him work both sides of the plate at least. That's in the seats, and it's 1-1 on Tulo. 240 and 16 homers. He's hit safely in 5 straight. Late on a fastball there. 1-2. 17 pitches for Patrick so far, more balls than strikes. Barney singled. Donaldson homered into the pool. He walked Encarnacion, struck out Martin. Now the 1-2 to Tulo. Missed up and in, and it's even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not that far in, but Tulo with a little lean back. That ball might have actually caught the corner up and in.
Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, back there, not biting. That one is yanked down the left field line and fouled. You got a favorite for the AL East race. You've got Toronto, Baltimore, Boston all bunched up there within a game and a half of each other.
What do you think?
I know, I had to ask.
I'm rooting for Junior to get a playoff share. Are you kidding me? Come on, Red Sox.
Red Sox hosting the Giants again today. Matt Cain on the mound for San Francisco. It's a chopper foul right in front of Luis Rivera, the third base coach for the Blue Jays. There it is, all bunched up there at the top. Tampa Bay and maybe even the Yankees going to start to sell some pieces off, perhaps. A lot of discussions that the Rays and Dodgers have talked trade, maybe Chris Archer or Evan Longoria.
There's all the talk about the Yankees is that tail end of the bullpen.
Betances, Miller, Chapman, they might trade them all. Got him. 91 from Patrick Corbin. His second strikeout, 2 down.
Tulo to swing through a couple of elevated fastballs that time. That one about belt high, up and out over the plate. Swung at a similar pitch earlier in the sequence, came up empty.
That's a little unusual. It's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Patrick's velocity down a tick. It's a very hittable pitch. Tulo missed a couple there.
Maybe Tulo's bat quickness is down a tick.
Good call. Kevin Pillar. And Encarnacion, the runner at first, 2 outs. Missed with a slider, and it's 1-0. Pillar 262 and 7 home runs. 0 for 4 last night. Well, he's got all kinds of stuff going on there. Every pad and sweatband and protector you can find. He's got one on the elbow, the wrist, the forearm, the shin, the ankle.
A few others we can't see.
It's like American gladiators out there. Tomas going to have to come in from right. And he's got it, but Josh Donaldson's 24th home run makes it 2-0 Toronto. Gotta have more. Look, she is going to town on that blue cotton candy. Well, it is the Blue Jays after all. Your Arizona Ford starter for the Jays is Marcus Stroman. He is a very talented young pitcher. He was their opening day starter, but he's had some issues this year. No pitcher in all of baseball has given up more earned runs this year than Marcus Stroman.
Coming off one of the shortest outings of the year for Stroman. Last time out against the Oakland A's, gave up 9 hits and 7 runs in 4 2/3. 3 of those hits left the yard.
Gene Segura leads it off. This is the pitcher that they dubbed coming out of spring training in Dunedin their ace. And he pitched like that earlier in the year, but it's been rocky going as of late for Marcus Stroman. Strike 1 to Segura. Curveball is in there, and it's 0-2. Gene 306 and 7 home runs. And a pair of singles last night. Also stole a base and scored a run. Hello.
Just a bit outside.
Tried the corner and missed. This has become a new trend. I don't love it. The single digit number for the pitcher. Mike Leake went to number 8. You see this more and more now. It's like Little League out there.
Looks odd.
Yeah, doesn't it? Boy, he's really misfiring here. It looks like they brought in the second baseman to pitch or something.
Yeah, you have a blowout ball game. You got one of your position players out there on the mound wearing number 6.
Yeah, starting to see this a lot more around the major leagues.
And of course, Adam Ottavino wears 0.
Well, that'll give him because of all the vowels. Sure. There's a bouncer into center. Segura, leadoff single. Just like last night, the lineup for Chip Hale's D-backs this afternoon against Marcus Stroman.
Gene Segura with a good start, bounces that ball up the middle for his first hit of the game. Michael Bourne will follow, play center field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Jake Lamb down at third. Brandon Drury out in left field with Yasmani Tomas in right. Tuffy Gostawish doing the catching. Nick Ahmed at shortstop and Patrick Corbin on the mound.
You know, you're going to look at the box score from last night and see Michael Bourne 0 for 3 and go, well, he didn't really do anything. But he had 2 ground balls during which he moved runners over. He also had a walk in the 8th inning. So not a whole lot to show for it, but a pretty good plate, at least a productive night at the plate last night for Michael.
Yeah, did what he needed to do to set it up for his teammates behind him in the batting order. And, you know, with our perch out of the home run porch last night, we got to see Michael Bourne directing traffic out there in the outfield as well, moving Tomas and Drury around depending on the hitter.
Base hit. That's by diving Travis. Segura takes the turn. Here's the throw from Junior Lake, and it gets by Donaldson. No one's backing up, and Segura's going to come in and score. Stroman was late getting behind the bag. Junior Lake uncorked a rifle shot into Donaldson, and no one was there to back him up, and it's 2-1.
Junior Lake is going to be hung with an error on this. This is a tough error for any outfielder. He comes up and makes a strong throw to third base. It looked like it hit Gene Segura as he went into his slide there at third base. That deflected it away from Josh Donaldson, and by the time the Blue Jays can recover, the Diamondbacks are on the board, and Michael Bourne is in scoring position at second base.
And that is a single for Bourne. E9 on the play, no RBI. So a 2-1 ball game now. Here's Goldie. Goldie 0 for 4 last night, had an RBI ground out in his first at bat. 294 and 16 homers. Diamondbacks with a chance to get both those runs right back in the home half of the first.
First inning of this game really looks like a day game after a night game.
Doesn't it? A little sloppy.
Out of sync. Everybody just a little out of sync here at the beginning of the ball game, except for Josh Donaldson.
Both teams have airplanes waiting for them as soon as this one is over. Long flights ahead. Still working out the kinks. 2-1 on Goldie. High chopper to Tulowitzki. Throws across his body. And Bourne is in at third. Goldie moves the runner along. Our eye on defense for Toronto, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Center.
There he is, Gold Glove second baseman playing left field. Darwin Barney, Kevin Pillar in center field. Junior Lake with an error already in the game over in right field. It'll be Donaldson and Tulowitzki on the left side of the infield with Travis and Encarnacion on the right side. Russell Martin once again doing the catching for right-hander Marcus Stroman.
All right, got to get the run in here. Bourne at third, one down for Jake Lamb. Blue Jays infield starts creeping in. Slider is in there. We've seen a curveball and a slider so far from Marcus Stroman. 0-1. Lamb 298 leads the Diamondbacks in homers and RBIs. He is 1/100th of a point behind Daniel Murphy for the National League lead in OPS. Leads the league in slugging, but he's down 0-2. Jake 0 for 4 last night. That snapped a 5-game hitting streak. Tying run 90 feet away. Had a good time out on the home run porch last night. You did get to see that Michael Bourne and any center fielder is really like sort of the catcher out there for the outfield, involved all the time. Those were our seats last night. They brought their gloves too. Jake Lamb strikes out, 2 down. Big strikeout for Stroman.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch the interplay as Michael Bourne would look into Dave McKay, and Dave McKay might move him a step or two one direction or the other, or shorten him up a little shallower, a little deeper. And then Michael Bourne would relay the directions to Brandon Drury in left field and Yasmani Tomas in right. They kind of move as a unit. You know, if the center fielder is going to shade a few steps over into the gap in left center, and the right fielder needs to shade a couple of steps over to the gap in right center, it's just kind of an amoeba. They all move together.
267, 9 homers for Brand. Then he doubled last night in the ball game. Michael Bourne at third, 2 outs. Broken bat Nubber. Donaldson charges. Low throw. And they got him. So they strand the tying run at second base, but they get one across after 1 inning at Chase Field. Diamondbacks trail the Blue Jays 2-1.
After 1 here at Chase Field. Jody Jackson back with you. I had the chance to catch up with D-backs ace Zach Greinke today. I asked him how the rehab has been going with the oblique tightness. He said, not as well as I would hope. Basically, guys, he's very frustrated. He said, I would have loved to have been back a week ago. But the good news is, yesterday he said he felt as close to normal as he has. Every other time he's been throwing, he's been babying it, and that was kind of a long toss. Today he was hoping to throw off the mound if he felt good again, just kind of light throwing. But guys, with Greinke not able to come back when the D-backs need a starter next week, obviously that's not going to happen. He will need a rehab start.
Junior Lake is out, trying to stretch a double into 3.
Second baseman, number 29.
Tomas to Segura to Lamb. Perfectly executed relay right there. Bone-headed base running play by Junior Lake right there. He was out by a mile at third base. Never looked up. Made his decision he was going to go for 3 right after he rounded first base.
Devin Travis. This is the first pitch strike of the ball game for Patrick Corbin. Travis, after the base hit by Lake, of course. 267 and 6 homers. So Squibber, that's a fair ball. Goldie gave up on that one, and it stayed fair. Tomas picks it up, and Travis is in at second base. That was a little cue shot that somehow did not get into fair territory.
Yeah, a lot of side English on that ball. You could clearly see it hit the chalk on the outfield side of first base. Tomas tries to get rid of it quickly. Guys, Diamondbacks infielders diving all over the place. Keep that ball in the infield.
So a pair of doubles open up the Toronto second. Here's the pitcher, Marcus Stroman. Stroman only 2 at bats all year. In fact, in his career, he's 0 for 2.
He's watched a lot of video, though. He looks like a hitter.
Chops one over the mound. Segura bobbles the ball. Little sloppy here this morning.
Somebody hit the reset button, please. That ball kind of kicked back a little bit to Gene Segura's left, and couldn't field it cleanly. Hits off the heel of the glove. Blue Jays with runners at first and third, 1 out in the inning, and now you're rolling back around to the top of the order.
E4, the error charge to Segura. Travis is in there at third. Stroman, the pitcher, at first, and Darwin Barney, who singled and scored a run, is up. Goes bunt, pulls back, takes a strike, 0-1. Good slider from Patrick. He's ahead 1-2. Darwin Barney, like a lot of these Blue Jays, a guy who really likes hitting at the Rogers Center. 342 at home, only 206 on the road.
Yeah, but all his power comes on the road.
Yeah, that's true.
Twice as many home runs on the road.
Boy, you're doing math. You got amoebas out there. What's going on? Center field, it'll back up Bourne, just shy of the warning track. Travis is at third, and here he comes. Stroman going to tag up as well, and everybody moves up. It's 3-1 Blue Jays. The RBI for Darwin Barney.
Third baseman, Josh.
How about the pitcher hustling and tagging up first to second?
Yeah, very heads up aggressive play by Stroman. I'm not so crazy about the head first dive into second base when it was totally unnecessary, but
he panicked.
He panicked.
More trouble. Donaldson homered into the pool his first time up, his 24th of the year.
Hitting with runners in scoring position. That's something you really look for, your middle of the lineup guys. And Josh Donaldson, since June 24th, is batting an even .500 with runners in scoring positions, driven in 18 runs over that span.
Skies one very high to left for Brandon Drury. But the Blue Jays add one more. They lead it 3-1. turn on you.
It's a rough crowd.
We just had a fan who didn't do all that well in the match game, and it got ugly.
It did.
Whew. Well, it sounded the way you described this ball game. Sloppy on both sides. Hey fans, introducing Pepsi Moji. Every time you grab an ice cold Pepsi 20-ounce bottle this summer, you'll find a Pepsi Moji on the side of the bottle. And there are hundreds of different designs, so show the world how you feel and what you love with Pepsi Moji using the hashtag #SayItWithPepsi. Well, Marcus Stroman now with a 3-1 lead. And it worked to Yasmani Tomas, Tuffy Gozawish, and Nick Ahmed, 6, 7, and 8 in the Arizona second.
I think that's every pitcher's dream, to take the mound with dirt on the front of his uniform from a head-first slide.
Oh, he's in the game now. It's on.
Leading off for the D-backs, right fielder, number 24, Yasmani Tomas.
Well, Yasmani had a good night last night. Couple of hits. He singled and doubled. 253 and 13 homers. At the first pitch and fouls it off. Your key to the game, Bob, was keep it in the yard. You could apply that to Marcus Stroman as well. He is no sure thing with a 3-1 lead. Home runs have been a problem lately. He gave up only 4 homers in his first 10 starts, but he's given up 10 home runs in his last 9. Hangs that one. Tomas gets under it, gives it a ride. Barney at the track, and he tracks it down. Yasmani got a hanging nothing ball that time and almost hit it out of here.
Catcher, number 8, Tuffy Gozawish.
Tuffy Gozawish, the start behind the plate today. Tuffy's got to do well today. Tracy Smith is here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to represent for the Sun Devil Nation.
Fear the fork.
He's out there with was out there with Lightning Todd Walsh for the pregame show. As VIP month continues, Tuffy sends one to the gap in right center. Lake over to cut it off, and it'll hold Gozawish to a 1-out single. 4th hit this year for Tuffy.
Slashing line drive to the opposite field that time. Tuffy right on that one. Got some backspin on that ball to the gap in right center. Only the speed of Junior Lake kept that from being extra bases. Lake got over there in good shape, backhanded it, and got it back in quickly to hold Tuffy to a single.
Well, that's a play that a lot of times you don't get to see when you're watching the game on television. You do see it here at the ballpark. There are some guys who are really good at outfielders, corner outfielders, really good at cutting those balls off.
Closing that gap quickly.
Ahmed swings at the first pitch, as he's done a whole lot lately. Tulo wants it. 2 down. Patrick Corbin now.
Number 46, Patrick Corbin.
Patrick's been a hitter, one of the better hitting pitchers in the National League. 350 on the year.
Nick Ahmed and Yasmani Tomas both swung at the first pitch in their at-bats here in this inning, maintaining their ranking as number 1 and 2 in the National League in first pitch swing percentage.
It's not working out very well for either guy. Patrick slaps that the other way. That might get over Barney's head, but he runs it down in foul ground. Tuffy Gozawish, a 1-out single, but it stays 3-1 Blue Jays. trail the Blue Jays 3-1. Time now for greater coverage of baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. A look around the rest of the National League West. They're underway in St. Louis, where the Cardinals lead the Padres 4-2. They'll play 2. Colorado hosting Tampa Bay. The Rockies lead the Rays 2-1 in the 3rd inning. Later on today, the Dodgers at Nats Park. And Matt Cain on the mound for the Giants against former Padre Drew Pomeranz, who makes his Red Sox debut. Edwin Encarnacion will lead off the Toronto 3rd against Patrick Corbin. D-backs have the shift on. They overload the left-hand side of the infield. Then Encarnacion skies one up in the rafters. Nick Ahmed has a beat on it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
You take the last 2 fly balls. Donaldson's fly ball to left to end that 2nd inning, and Encarnacion's to start this 3rd, and straighten them out.
Might go 1,000 feet.
Hey, land in Cave Creek. Boy, they are taking some aggressive rips against Patrick Corbin here in the early going.
It's almost like they know what's coming. Martin struck out his first time. Fastball's in there, and it's 0-1. Patrick's starting to get ahead in the count more often now. Rifles that one down the right field line, but it's foul into the bullpen. Russell Martin picking up the offensive pace as of late. He was 1 for 4 last night, adding just over .320 in his last 14 games. Fastball missed, and it's 1-2. Called strike 3. Martin knew it. 2nd strikeout for Corbin.
Patrick Corbin thought he had him struck out on the pitch before, just off the inside corner, pitch number 3, but comes right back with pitch number 4, dots it on that inside corner for strike 3.
Make it 3 strikeouts for Patrick. 2 down. Here's Troy Tulowitzki. Tulo a strikeout victim his first time up. He got a 2 or 3, in fact, very hittable fastballs from Patrick Corbin, and swung and missed at all 3. Another first pitch strike. Base hit. Tulowitzki knocks it into center, a 2-out single. That'll bring up Kevin Pillar.
Center field, Kevin Pillar.
Pillar flied out his first time up, 0 for 1. He's still got all those pads on. This guy is padded up. Elbow, forearm, wrist, shin, ankle. Doesn't quite match what the body armor that Josh Donaldson wears, which is reminiscent of Barry Bonds, but Kevin Pillar is ready for battle here.
Yeah, referring to the elbow guard that Barry Bonds used to wear, and back in those days you had to get permission from MLB to wear body armor. It wasn't like you could just strap on pads whenever you felt like it. You had to apply for an exemption because of a previous injury, and MLB would either approve it or not approve it, but I think now you can pretty much wear whatever you want up there.
Most guys are pretty reasonable about it. You don't want to take away the fear factor, right? You don't want to.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've got all that armor on, well, what's to keep you from leaning out over the plate, sticking that front elbow into the strike zone like we see some guys do?
Patrick Corbin strands the 2-out single, bottom 3rd. Coming up, Diamondbacks trail it 3-1.
Bottom half of the third inning. It's time to take a look back at baseball history, brought to you by Geico. On this date in 1976, Mark the Bird Fidrych, in his 13th start of the season, throws his 12th complete game, including 3 extra inning, 11 inning games.
There's never been a guy like him before or since.
No.
What a season that was. I remember that as a little kid, 1976. That was something.
He'd stand on the mound and talk to the baseball. He'd get down on his hands and knees and repair the mound. He was very animated, to say the least.
Good Massachusetts boy right there.
There you go.
Gene Segura singled, scored a run. Marcus Stroman coming off a 7-pitch second inning. 1-1 on Segura, who leads it off. But he got injured after that year and was never the same.
12 complete games in 13 starts.
Who knew?
Unheard of nowadays.
Slapped that one down the right field line, but it's in the seats. You can still watch. If you've never watched that Monday Night Baseball game that he pitched against the Yankees at Tiger Stadium, you can YouTube that right now, or after this game preferably, and watch it. It is a lot of fun. Segura chases that one out of the strike zone. Second strikeout for Stroman.
And if fans think that there are certain players and retired players that are real buttoned up and old school, you should have sensed the climate of Major League Baseball back then. And then here comes this wild-haired, crazy, laughing, goofy right-handed pitcher that just refused to adhere to the norms of the game and went out and beat people.
Michael Bourne trying to bunt for a base hit. Martin can't pick it up, and Bourne's aboard. Travis there to back it up. Fortunately, a bunt single for Michael Bourne. I think they'll give Martin an error on that one.
No, I think they've already ruled that a base hit. That ball, you could hear it hit off home plate and bounce high in the air, and then when it hits the ground, it takes a little bit of a squirrely hop on Russell Martin, who then really had to hurry. You can see that ball checked up. Martin tries to rush his throw, and Michael Bourne on with his 79th bunt base hit of his career, 4th on the active list.
Goldie still looking for his first hit in this series. Grounded out his first time up today. Mark Fidrych, as a 21-year-old rookie in 1976, went 19-9, led the league with a 2.34 ERA. Made 29 starts and threw 24 complete games. 250 innings that year, and was never the same.
And just the way he went about it, the unabashed joy that he was having out there on the mound, laughing and really enjoying himself.
The Bird. It's one of the most famous Sports Illustrated covers in history. The picture of him and Big Bird from Sesame Street.
The Big Bird.
That's a base hit for Goldie. It rolls into left. Diamondbacks have something going. 2 on, 1 out for Jake Lamb. Tell you what, the top of the order so far, Bob. Segura, Bourne, and Goldie have combined for 4 hits. Time to get him in. Here's Jake Lamb, who struck out his first time up. All one. Lowe's home field advantage. Jake Lamb. Since June 28th at Chase Field, he's hitting .409. Among the league leaders in his home ballpark since the end of last month, and he's ahead 2-0. Leading the National League in slugging. A billionth of a point behind Daniel Murphy for the league lead in OPS.
I didn't realize they took it that far.
Oh, yeah, they really stretched that out.
Billionth of a point.
Yeah, it's that close. Can't check his swing. 2-1. I think it's actually only 100th, but I leave the math and science to you.
Yeah. It'd be tough to lose a batting title by a billionth of a point.
Well, right into the shift, and Tulo is there. And he turns two. He hit it hard, but right at the shortstop. Just shaved over toward that second base bag. We're through three. It's 3-1 Toronto. Coming up at the ballpark Saturday, August 6th. First 20,000 fans to that game against the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll get the Zach Greinke bobblehead. It's courtesy of Safelite Auto Glass. You can get your tickets at dbacks.com. Junior Lake leads off the Toronto fourth against Patrick Corbin. Blue Jays lead at 3-1. Patrick coming off back-to-back 10-pitch innings. 10 pitches in the second, 10 in the third. 8 strikes in each one, and there's another first pitch strike. That's become a recent trend for Patrick. He was behind in the count throughout the first, but ever since then he's settled in nicely. Lake doubled his first time up, was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple on a nice relay by Yasmani Tomas to Gene Segura into Jake Lamb. One and two. Nine, 4, 5 on that put out in the second inning. Big play in the ball game too. Devin Travis followed with a double of his own. Stroman reached on an error. Darwin Barney a sac fly RBI. All after Lake got himself thrown out at third to begin the inning. That's a cardinal sin, right? Never make the first or last out of the inning at third.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you're going to do it, you know, because the defense makes an outstanding play behind you. But you could watch Junior Lake as he rounded first base. He just put his head down. He never picked up his third base coach. He never picked up the ball in right center field. Just made up his mind he was going to go to third. He was out by a mile.
And he waits at that slider from Patrick Corbin. 4 strikeouts for Patrick, 1 down. That slider's been effective today.
Well, he's going to need it with this all right-handed Blue Jays lineup today. He's going to need all of his weapons.
Devin Travis doubled and scored his first time up. And a couple of singles and an RBI last night. He scored twice. Travis over his last 26 games hitting .330. And he's shown some power. 5 of his 6 home runs this year have come since the middle of last month. Fastball missed away, and Patrick's behind 2-0. Travis missed almost all the Blue Jays' first 50 games this year. Didn't make his season debut till the end of May. Had very serious left shoulder problems. Had to be shut down at the end of July last year. Then in November needed an operation. They had to do something to stabilize the bone growth in that shoulder. So he sat out about 10 months. And he's one of these rare guys that likes hitting away from the Rogers Center. Almost .330 on the road this year. That's where he's got 5 of his 6 homers. Ahmed comes in at shortstop. 2 down.
Hey, D-backs fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks victory, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Patrick Corbin has now retired 7 of the last 8 Blue Jays he's faced. And with 2 down and the bases empty, he'll work to the pitcher Marcus Stroman. Jay's first trip to Chase Field since 2013. It's been a while. Swings at the first pitch. Ahmed one more time. A nice quick 10-pitch inning. That's 3 consecutive 10-pitch innings for Patrick Corbin, but he trails at 3-1. Inside Chase Field on this Wednesday getaway day matinee. D-backs trail the Blue Jays 3-1. Now in Toyota Let's Go places. The airplane BB is ready to go as soon as this game is over. Off day in Cincinnati tomorrow. Hello. And then the long road trip. 3 in the Natty, 4 in Milwaukee, and then 3 in LA.
Bring it on.
It's supposed to be about 1,000,000% humidity in Cincinnati over the
temperatures in the high 90s, humidity about the same. Very comfortable conditions to play baseball.
And then 4 to Miller Park. One of the nice ballparks to visit every year.
Always good to see our old buddy Craig Counsell.
Check out Rock and BA over there as well. And then we finish up at Dodger Stadium. Brandon Drury leads off the bottom of the 4th. He grounded out his first time up. The governor will not be making the trip, nor, in fact, will Tom Candiotti if you're a radio listener. Well, if you are, you probably can't hear me right now, but just to be thorough, Candy and the governor are taking this one off. So in Cincinnati and Milwaukee, you're getting Mike Ferrin, the moral compass Mike Ferrin. And J.J. Putz will be on the radio side for the series against the Reds and the Brewers. And then Gonzo, there's the moral compass Mike Ferrin. Gonzo will come in and replace JJ for the 3 games at Dodger Stadium on the radio side. So it's a star-studded cast of thousands.
Gonzo always was big in LA.
Cavalcade of stars on D-backs radio for this road trip. There's Gonzo. And in Drury, boy, Tulo's been busy out there. Hey! Those two work together all off season long and have for a couple of years now. But Tulo throws out his protege. And there's one down in the fourth. As Manny Tomas flied out his first time up. We will have on the TV side on the road trip. Phil the Iron Horse Malika is he's all in on this trip. He's going to actually direct every game. There was a paperwork snafu.
Get out of here.
Yeah. The Iron Horse will be in there with the, and it'll also be Brad the Big Dog Weimer's big return to Milwaukee. Former Brewers producer.
Parade and everything.
Oh yeah, big. Junior Lake drifting on the warning track. 2 outs. Those are some of the storylines we'll be following on this upcoming road trip.
Speaking of storylines, the Cubs are hammering the Mets 6-0 today in the 7th inning. Anthony Rizzo has hit 887 feet worth of homers today.
That was a Bartolo Colon start.
Ooh.
Ouch, big.
447 and 435 off the bat of the Cubs first baseman today. So far.
Tuffy backs up Donaldson at third. Quick inning for Marcus Stroman. And through 4, well, a 7-pitch inning right there. He leads at 3-1. D-backs trail the Blue Jays 3-1. Hey, D-backs fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Just download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and D-backs baseball with you wherever you go. Patrick Corbin has retired 4 straight Blue Jays and 8 of the last 9 he's faced, and the leadoff man Darwin Barney will start us off for the 5th inning. A good day for Barney. Singled and scored his first time up, had an RBI sac fly back in the 2nd. Getting the start today in left field. Drive that one toward right center. Yasmane's there. 5 in a row retired by Patrick, 1 away. Josh Donaldson. A splashdown home run his first time up. It looked a little something like this into the pool.
I really feel he hit the second ball better than that one. That turned into a fly ball to left field. He hit it about 9 miles up near the rafters into deep left field. Caught out there by Brandon Drury.
It was the 54th home run hit directly into the Ramtrucks.com pool. And the first by a D-backs opponent since the A's Stephen Vogt last August. He's the first Blue Jay ever to homer directly into the Ramtrucks.com pool here at Chase Field. Also only the 2nd pool home run all year. Goldie had the first back on May 30th against the Astros. It's with a changeup, and it's 2-1. Donaldson has been sensational since the first week of June. Last 35 games, he's hit .401. And his on-base percentage in those 35 games is .506. 37 RBIs in his last 35, and he's already got a 2-run homer here today. Big swing at that one, and it's 2-2. Not looking for the changeup that time. That's a foul ball, says Greg Gibson at third. Oh boy, Handsome Ransom not looking so good right now. Handsome usually catches those.
Day game after night game.
Oh, 5-hole. That's Michael Handsome Ransom, our Golden Glover, down the left field line. Rapid Robert Balderrama working the right field corner today. There's Rapid Robert. He just looks fast, doesn't he?
Yeah.
3-2 now.
He was dogging Handsome Ransom over there.
A lot of trash talk with the Golden Glovers lately. Second walk issued by Patrick Corbin. Now he'll work to win Encarnacion.
First baseman Edwin Encarnacion.
Encarnacion has walked and popped up 0 for 1. The biggest hit of the ball game last night, a 3-run homer on a curveball that Zach Godley left up in the zone just a little bit. Encarnacion's third homer in his last 6 games. Said he went up there looking for a curveball in his second AB last night and got it, and he did not miss it. Tuffy wants to talk it over.
It was a shame too, because Zach Godley threw a lot of really good curveballs in the ball game last night. Unfortunately, hung a couple, and one of them got hit out of the ballpark.
Thought Zach pitched pretty well last night. Gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 hits in 5 innings, had 7 strikeouts. But the home run to Encarnacion really bit him. 1-0 pitch. Way up in the air again. Brandon Drury's going to get neck cramps at this rate. Well, they have hit some very high fly balls to left field. They get a big out there. 2 down now. Russell Martin has struck out twice.
Too high.
What do you mean too high? Russell Martin, as we noted earlier this year when we were in Toronto, has changed bats this year. It seems to have really helped. He went to a shorter, lighter bat. Says he feels like his hands are a lot quicker now. He needed to change something. He hit a .150 in April and struck out in more than half of his bats for the entire month.
Well, it's not unusual for a player to change bats over the course of a season. Obviously, as you get into the dog days, that tends to get a little heavy.
I bet.
Guys come down a half an inch or a quarter of an inch in length and maybe a full ounce or more in weight.
Well, he started off 2 for 30 at the plate this year. Needed to do something. He's sort of figured it out lately. Since May 1st, he's hit .256. are in the hole. Ahmed backhands it, little double clutch, and yes, he got it just in time to get Donaldson. It looked awfully close. Ramon De Jesus is the umpire out there, and nobody's going anywhere just yet. John Gibbons on the top step. I thought once Nick double pumped, he might just forget about the force play and try to get the out at first, but Gibbons will challenge. You got a light right there behind the glove. It's hard to see where the ball actually is, but boy, that's awfully close.
Yeah, with the naked eye, it looked like Donaldson beat that play. I agree with you. I thought once Nick bobbled that ball, he'd go across the diamond and get the catcher running down the first baseline, but tried to get that force at second base. As I said, with the naked eye, it looked like it was just a tad late.
Ramon De Jesus is a fill-in umpire in for Ed Hickox today, and last thing you want is to have your first call challenged, and it looks like he may have missed it, but we'll see. It's up to New York now. There's another angle. Here's the bobble.
Just didn't have a good grip.
Donaldson sure looks like he's in there.
I didn't see any point in the previous replay where his foot came off the bag and a possible tag it would have been applied. Segura never tagged him.
So much of umpiring is proper positioning, and De Jesus put himself in a perfect spot to make the call. But it sure was bang bang. I don't know if they're going to get a definitive look. And you just see Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, there signaling to Patrick Corbin, go ahead and throw some warm-up tosses while we're waiting here. So Patrick started throwing on the mound, but here's the verdict. He is safe at second. So the out call is overturned. Blue Jays retain their challenge. And they'll have 2 on and 2 out for Troy Tulowitzki. Tulo has struck out and singled 1 for 2. Donaldson at second, Martin at first. Score that a fielder's choice for Russell Martin. Tuffy going to give this one a look, but it's behind the screen. Oh, 0-1 on Tulowitzki. He's now hit safely in 6 straight, 8 of his last 9.
And he's been a money hitter over the last calendar month since June 19th, hitting .346 with runners in scoring position, driven in 18 runs over that period, 5 extra base hits in those situations.
Yeah, he missed 20 games with the right quadriceps strain, but since he's come back, 23 RBIs in 24 games. Fastball missed in, 1-1. That's something that we have not seen Patrick do a lot of, come inside to right-hand hitters. That was one of his trademarks earlier in his career. Seems like he's gotten a little bit away from that this season. There's Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. Swings through the slider, and it's 1-2. He's got a lot of swings and misses on that pitch today. Doesn't have that same sharp, crisp bite that we saw before, but it's been effective this afternoon. Everybody stays put, and it's 2-2. It's like Tuffy wanted a little eye contact right there before he put the mask on. That was interesting.
When you work with the same pitching staff quite often, you get to know their body language out there on the mound, and sometimes all it takes is eye contact. You know, and you nod your head yes, or you shake your head no.
Brandon Drury can't get it. It's off the glove. Donaldson will score. Martin's on the run. They're going to stop him at third, and it's 4-1. The RBI double for Troy Tulowitzki.
Nice effort out there by Brandon Drury. That ball was hit really hard and hooking away from him the entire time. Gives it a diving attempt right there, and then quickly gets to his feet to make sure it's only a double, and Martin has to stop at third base. Talking about that eye contact between a catcher and a pitcher, and we've seen it in the past many times. Kurt Schilling used to do it all the time with Damian Miller. They'd make eye contact and Schill would just mouth the next pitch he wanted to throw. Fastball away. Split.
Russell Martin at third, Tulowitzki at second. 2 down for Kevin Pillar, who's 0 for 2. He bangs that one into center. Martin will score. And it's 5-1 Blue Jays.
Ringing line drive into center field this time. One thing about Troy Tulowitzki, we've talked a lot about his leg issues in the past. It's put him on the disabled list a number of times, kept him at well less than 100% most of the time. He rarely extends running the bases anymore.
I don't think he can. I mean, he's got to be smart about it. He goes through an exhausting routine before every ball game just to get on the field with all the leg and groin issues he's had, hip problems. D-backs bullpen will get busy. Randall Delgado. Randall worked in the ball game last night, threw only 8 pitches though. Well, let's see. 3 straight have reached with 2 outs for the Blue Jays. 2 runs are in. Runners in the corners and 2 down now for Junior Lake. Lake doubled in the second. He's 1 for 2. Kevin Pillar, as you mentioned last night, Bob, maybe only Blue Jay that you worry about on the bases. He will steal occasionally on you. He's got 7 this year.
Yeah, Pillar and Donaldson. If you don't pay attention to Donaldson, occasionally he'll take off, but Pillar is probably their best base stealer.
Junior Lake able to lay off the slider, and it's 1-0. Kevin Pillar 7 for 11 in his stolen base attempts this year.
And as we mentioned before game 1 of this series, Blue Jays don't run a lot. Why would you when you've got home run hitters up and down the lineup? You don't want to run into an out on the bases when the guy at the plate has a chance of hitting the ball in the seats.
Toronto second in the major leagues in home runs, behind only the Baltimore Orioles. 1-1 on Junior Lake. That's how John Gibbons Ball Club wins American League style. Hit some good pitching and hit a whole bunch of home runs. Fights that one off, and it's 1-2.
Patrick must be sneaky quick today. We mentioned Tulowitzki swinging through some fastballs in his first at bat of the ball game. Junior Lake well tardy on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that time.
The velocity for Patrick, it used to be 92, 93. Now it's more 90, 91. That's about where he maxes out. It's been down the last couple of starts. Again, Junior Lake lays off that slider. That's the pitch on which Patrick was getting a whole bunch of swings and misses earlier in the ball game. Blue Jays hitters making their adjustments. Full count, 3-2. That'll start Pilar, the runner at first. Tulowitzki at third. Devin Travis on deck. There goes Pilar. Junior leg pulls it down the line. Jake Lamb is there. But the Blue Jays get 2 more. They lead it 5-1. The lovely Mike and Vanessa are here. Wait, what? What? You dumped Mike?
I did, just today.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, day games only. And then I get a little break from his sass.
Now, well, we all could use that. What are you modeling for us today?
All right, so this is the giveaway for August 27th. It is the 6th annual alumni game. It's courtesy of Sanderson Ford. This D-backs, what would you call this? I don't even know what it's
I would
called.
call it a batting practice pullover.
That's what it says
That's
right there on
exactly,
the
you're
script.
good.
Why? Because I have a script. You're doing all this off memory, so I'm pretty impressed. Now, the alumni game, a little different twist this year. This is actually going to be before the game. We play the Reds that day, but the alumni game starts at 2:30, and then we have the regular ball game.
Yeah.
And so hopefully everybody will show up and watch the alumni game and get this batting practice pullover.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, right?
I think it looks cool.
Nice color.
I like the teal and the silver, yeah.
I think I might wear it in the next Sanderson Ford commercial. What do you think?
There you go.
Boy, you're everywhere. You're like a media mogul.
I like to stay busy.
Yeah, do a good job of it. Nick Ahmed, a little tapper to second base. Devin Travis has it, and that's the first out. So the lovely Vanessa. Thanks, Vanessa. Good job. That's a cool looking shirt. That's, you don't usually get a t-shirt or something at these ballparks, but that's a very unique item.
And they moved that alumni game up to 2:30 in the afternoon because a lot of guys need a nap later in the afternoon. They're a little older. Body doesn't quite react the way it used to when they were active players.
Also, and look, I'm not casting aspersions on anyone, but I have noticed that when we've had the alumni game in the past, after the regular game, the guys they're kind of hanging out. They haven't seen each other in a while, so it's a very social thing. And I have noticed that sometimes there's some liquid refreshment. So I'm not sure they've been going out there at 100%.
Well, it's very important that older players stay hydrated.
Yes.
I just question their choice of hydration.
So hopefully they won't be dehydrated when they play the game on the 27th before we play the Reds. But you can get your tickets for that, fans, at dbacks.com. That's Saturday, August 27th. The 6th annual alumni game. You'll get a batting practice pullover courtesy of Sanderson Ford. And then the game at I think it's 5:30, right? Hold on. No, 5-10, a 5-10 start that day for the Cincinnati Reds.
Unless the alumni game goes extra innings,
There
and
is
then
that.
the real game will just have to wait.
Gonzo tries to bunt for a base hit again. That controversy hasn't gone away. Patrick Corbin has worked at a full count 3-2 with 1 out.
And with the Reds in town that particular time, we're told that Tom Brenneman will be in town.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
There's a strikeout for Stroman. That's his 3rd. Well, we'll get to see those guys in Cincinnati. The Cowboy, Jeff Brantley.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run today means a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Has your role been any more clearly defined in the alumni game? I know you like to. It's very political.
Well,
you'll jump ship side to side like you're like Don King. You know, you show up at the Rumble of the Jungle with Foreman, you leave with Ali.
Yeah, whatever it takes. I'm behind them, win or tie.
Wait, what? In the hole, Donaldson. It's off the glove and it rolls into left center. Segura will stop it first. Tricky play there for the Blue Jays third baseman.
Donaldson ranging far to his left, just gets the tip of the leather on it, slows that ball down into shallow left field. Tulowitzki, you can see, ran by the other direction trying to make the backhanded play. That'll go as an infield hit.
It's the 4th hit in the series for Gene Segura. A little conversation there with Tulo and Donaldson. Brings up Michael Bourne, who's 2 for 2. He bunted for a base hit his last time up. Michael hitting .305 over his last 19 games. Big day last night for Chris Owings at Reno. Hopefully CO's back soon. Michael wanted that one to stay fair. Stroman strikes him out. He's got 4 strikeouts and through 5. The Blue Jays lead it 5-1.
Jackson with you. Talking about Patrick Corbin earlier today with manager Chip Hill, he said, of course, it's very surprising that here we are almost in August and Patrick Corbin is yet to have a win at home. He said the key for Patrick today would be maintaining his stuff as the game goes on. He said Robbie Ray has been excellent at it lately. They strive for all their starters to keep their pitches crisp late in the game. Despite the score right now, there's a lot to be learned here. Of course, Patrick's longest outing in the last month, guys, has been 5 1/3. So in the 6th here, this is big to see if he can maintain his stuff and the crispness of his pitches.
Yeah, he has failed to complete even the requisite 5 innings in 3 of his last 4 starts. And Chip Hill was talking about the home road record for Patrick Corbin as Devin Travis leads it off with a base hit down the left field line. Travis, who doubled in the 2nd inning, has his 2nd double of the ball game, his 10th this year. One more look at those numbers. 9 starts in his home park. Patrick 0-6 with a 7.15 ERA, but 4-2 in 10 starts on the road. His ERA this season, Bob, basically doubles here at Chase Field.
I mean, we know this is a tough place to pitch, but Patrick has pitched and won successfully here in this ballpark in the past, as have all the Diamondbacks pitchers, but this season it's just really tough sledding here at Chase Field for everybody on the staff.
It's been a reason he's not been able to go more than, well, even complete 5 innings in his last 2 outings, losses to the Giants and the Dodgers. Marcus Stroman shows bunt, corner scratch, Goldie has it. Travis gets into 3rd. 3-4 on the sacrifice for Marcus Stroman. Travis at 3rd with 1 down for the leadoff man, Darwin Barney.
Left fielder Darwin Barney.
Darwin Barney came into today with 12 hits in his last 10 games. Singled and scored in the 1st, then drove in a run with a sac fly in the 2nd. He's got Travis at 3rd and 1 out. Barney's played some second base for the Blue Jays. That's where he's been most of the time defensively. Some shortstop, 3rd base as well. Out there in left field today. Infield is in. Segura knocks it down. Travis stays put. And they get out number 2.
Hey fans, follow Arizona Diamondbacks baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video, highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Big out there for Patrick Corbin now with 2 down. The infield will back up for the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson, who hit one into the pool on the fly in the 1st inning. His 24th home run of the year. Able to check his swing that time. Fastball in there at 90 miles an hour. 1-0. Donaldson 3 singles and an RBI last night. Today he has a 2-run homer. He's walked. He scored twice. Crushes that one to deep center field. That's in play. That's a double. Just missed the home run porch out there. Off the fence. And that ball was drilled. (6-1) Blue Jays as Travis comes in easily. Here comes Chip Hale.
That man never gets cheated. The ball almost stuck in the home run porch out there in left center field.
That'll do it for Patrick Corbin. He leaves trailing 6-1. Back after this from Chase Field. 6th inning. Randall Delgado, your Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change, a 4.15 ERA in 41 appearances this year. He picked up the win Saturday against the Dodgers, then worked a scoreless inning last night.
Yeah, 3 ground balls last night. Martin, Tulowitzki, and Pilar all grounded out.
He'll face Edwin Encarnacion with Josh Donaldson at second base after his RBI double. It's made it 6-1.
Well, this is not news, partner, but it is the Blue Jays. 18 of their 29 hitters so far in the ball game have seen 3 or fewer pitches. They are a very aggressive offensive ball club. You've got to keep them honest early in the count. 8 of their 9 hits have come on 3 or fewer pitches.
Tell you what, in that division, when you've got 3 teams within a game and a half of each other, Boston, Baltimore, and Toronto, it's almost like a Cold War. You've just got to load up on offensive guys that can pound the baseball. Because the Red Sox offense is sensational. Baltimore is hitting home runs in bunches, and we've seen what the Blue Jays can do even without Bautista. I mean, it's welcome to Thunderdome in the AL East.
It really is.
And Encarnacion is leading that parade. He can mash the ball with anybody. Since June 10th, he's hit better than .330. 13 home runs, 37 RBIs in his last 31 games. But so far today, 0 for 2 with a walk. Randall stays with a fastball that time and falls behind 3-1. I think if I had first base open and Encarnacion up there with Martin on deck, no disrespect, but this guy's not getting anything to hit. Certainly not behind 3-1 at this point. Another sky-high pop-up in the rafters, drifting out to left center. Drury calls off Ahmed, and Brandon's got it. And the inning ends. Blue Jays add another run. They lead it 6-1.
Yeah.
These guys have got their own thing going.
Future dogs.
They got a whole routine worked out. Bottom 6 there at the ballpark. D-backs trail the Blue Jays 6-1. Got to walk off all the cotton candy.
I guess.
Just walk him around the park a couple of times.
Just let him walk home.
Goldie will lead it off against Marcus Stroman. There's still some left.
Plenty left.
That'd be good for the plane. Goldie is grounded out, singled 1 for 2. So far, Marcus Stroman has worked 5 innings, given up only 1 run on 6 hits. No walks. He's got 4 strikeouts. Stroman coming off a rough time of it in his previous start. That was last Friday at Oakland. He lasted only 4 2/3 innings, gave up 7 runs, 9 hits, including 3 home runs. But so far so good for the 25-year-old here today. Just inside, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice about Stroman's delivery, he starts with the right foot like he's in a stretch position. He's already got his entire foot down in the hole in front of the rubber, and then a little step back goes into his delivery. We've seen a lot of pitchers doing that lately.
Nice play by Devin Travis at second base to throw out Goldie.
You know, the more traditional windup, the pitcher stands there with his toes pointed toward home plate, takes a step back, and then steps down into the hole in front of the rubber. And Stroman just eliminates that entire step by starting with his foot in the hole in front of the rubber.
Making a big mess.
See right there, that's the way most pitchers go into their stretch position. But that's the way he starts his windup.
It's funny that somewhere along the way he didn't get coached out of that.
He may have actually been coached into it. You know, sometimes that little turn when you go from toes facing home plate to stepping into that hole in front of the rubber, sometimes guys get their body in a funky position. Their arm tends to drag behind. Everything's trying to catch up the rest of the delivery. So maybe they just eliminated that first step in the windup process and made it more like a stretch position.
Well, whatever they've done, it's worked, because it's not been working lately. Stroman just 1 win in his last 5 starts. His ERA in that span is almost 6.5. Blue Jays have won just 1 of his last 5 starts, but so far so good today. Fastball missed on Jake Lamb, and it's 1-2. Comes in with a fastball. 2-2.
That's a very effective pitch right there.
Why so?
I mean, you could see Jake Lamb, as we had a shot of his face, gritting his teeth. He was really getting ready to take a rip at that next delivery from Marcus Stroman, but it was up and in. Comes right back in there a second time. I mean, when you have no respect that that pitcher is going to pitch you hard inside, you can just dive out there and take aggressive swings all day long.
Well, the Blue Jays have been doing that all day long.
I'm not talking about hitting guys or throwing at their heads. Just pitch inside hard. Keep them honest.
Well, work for Stroman there. He gets his 5th strikeout. Marcus Stroman out of Medford, New York. He pitched collegiately at Duke. He's a Dookie. He was a first-round pick by the Blue Jays 4 years ago, the 22nd overall selection. And he's through 5 2/3 at only 66 pitches. He'll work to Brandon Drury. 2 down, nobody on. Brandon 0 for 2. Padres have lost their first game at St. Louis. They're playing 2 at Busch today. Cardinals won the first game 4-2. Rockies are getting trounced by the Rays at Coors Field. Tampa Bay leads Colorado 9-2 in the 6th. Giants are at Boston later tonight. Matt Cain on the mound for San Francisco in that one. Right back to the mound. Another quick, efficient 1-2-3 inning for the young right-hander Marcus Stroman, who leads at 6-1. Speed highlights brought to you by Cox. Josh Donaldson got it started. 2 batters in for Toronto. A home run into the pool. And it was 2-0 just like that. Troy Tulowitzki is 2 for 3. He's got an RBI double. The Blue Jays 6 runs on 9 hits, and through 6 they lead the Diamondbacks 6-1. New pitcher for the D-backs, the right-hander Jake Barrett. 3.06 ERA in 38 appearances. Jake in his last 7 appearances, all scoreless, has given up just 3 hits. Russell Martin, the Blue Jays catcher, leads off the Toronto 7th. Jake Barrett coming off some outstanding relief outings against the Dodgers over the weekend. Saturday struck out Howie Kendrick, left the bases loaded in the 7th. That was an enormous out. And then Sunday picked up his 2nd save of the year, couple of 9th inning strikeouts. 1-1.
Well, the way Howie Kendrick has hit against the Diamondbacks this year, Barrett should get some Cy Young votes just for striking out Howie Kendrick.
Get an Oscar, an Emmy, a Grammy, something. That was a critical at bat in the ball game. Got an all ASU Sun Devil battery here with Jake Barrett and Tuffy Goziewicz. And it's a good day for that with Tracy Smith, the Sun Devil head coach, with us. Segura, he's on it. And he's got him. Gene Segura, 1 away.
Several steps to his left, a dive and a throw from the knees to get Russell Martin at first. That's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game.
Right on the edge of that grass that's taking a beating out there. Here's Tulowitzki, a single, a double, and RBI. He's 2 for 3. Fly ball right field. Yasmani Tomas on the track. 2 down for Jake Barrett. That'll bring up Kevin Pillar, the center fielder, an RBI single his last time up.
Center fielder, Kevin Pillar.
You're watching Kevin Pillar walk up to the plate there for the Blue Jays. Kind of reminded me of former Cleveland Indian Jerry Dibzinski. You remember him?
Yes, but what in the name of
He's very
Alexander Cartwright could he possibly have to do with Jerry Dibzinski?
Jerry Dibzinski,
Cleveland, right?
Was the most bow-legged player to ever play
right.
in the major leagues. He could walk over a fire hydrant. And watching Kevin Pillar come out of the on-deck circle, he's got a little bow-legged approach about himself there.
That might be the greatest pull of all time. I'm like, I don't know where we're going here, but I can't wait to find out. There you go.
Well, that's the great thing about the game of baseball. Everybody can play. Pigeon-toed, bow-legged, knock-kneed, makes no difference.
Pillar 2 for 4. Here's Junior Lake.
Right fielder, Junior Lake.
Jerry Dibzinski.
Yeah. He was a good player. Had a couple good years for the Tribe.
He played 6 years. 3 of them for Cleveland, 2 for the White Sox, and 1 for the Pirates. He is a career .234 hitter.
I believe he was in Cleveland at the same time as Super Joe Charbonneau.
1980, yeah. They were rookies on that same team. Well, that's another. We were talking about Mark Fidrich earlier. How about Super Joe Charbonneau?
Oh, man.
Joe Charbonneau was a 25-year-old rookie with the Tribe in 1980. Hit .289, 23 homers, 87 RBIs. And he was a cult hero. He won the Rookie of the Year award. And after that season, he played in only 70 more major league games. Pillar takes off, as we told you he might, and the throw is in time for Tuffy. Gene Segura is blocking the bag. Nowhere to go. Well, they always tell you just get the glove down there and leave it, right?
Yeah, he's going to come to the base eventually. That time right into the tag.
Join the Emacs organist Bobby Freeman for the singing of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Can't do it any better than that.
He couldn't move the glove there if he wanted to. We stretch at Chase Field. D-backs trail Toronto 6-1. D-backs trail the Blue Jays 6-1. Arrowhead Honda takes us inside our game diagnostic. A look at the Diamondback box score. And again, a lot of zeros in the middle there, just like last night.
You'd like to think with 5 hits at the top of the order, could have been bunched together a little better, maybe pushed across some runs. But so far, Gene Segura, the first batter in the bottom of the first inning, the only runner to come around and score for the Diamondbacks.
Yasmani Tomas will lead it off against Marcus Stroman, who's back out there for his 7th inning of work. A little funny thing happened between innings. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
I think Our director Phil the Iron Horse Malika has recorded it on tape. Kevin Pillar, of course, was thrown out trying to steal when he sandwiched his foot, or I should say, he had Gene Segura's glove sandwiched between his foot and the bag. Pillar was apparently so upset by that he refused to move the entire time. He stayed with his foot in that exact spot for about 5 minutes, it seemed like.
Yeah, just stood there and waited for the rest of his team to come out and take the field. It wasn't until he got his glove in his hat that he finally turned around and headed out to center field.
And it's one thing to just stand there and, kind of look dejected, but he literally did not move his foot a millimeter that entire time. This is actual live human time.
Hey, you're out.
He won't move that foot. He's not going anywhere.
Oh, it's a funny game.
And even after he got his glove and his cap and the whole thing, nope, that foot is not budging. And finally, he's got to give in. 0-2 on Tomas.
Gene Segura just pointed at his glove, trapped against the base. That's an easy one.
That's the most definitive caught stealing call of all time. Two and 2 on Yasmani. Tomas goes away. Ahmed 6, 7, 8 here in the Arizona 7th against Marcus Stroman, who's only thrown 75 pitches so far, 50 strikes. A couple of hops to Travis at second base. One away. Tomas 0 for 3. Diamondbacks have only one base hit since the 3rd inning. That was Gene Segura's 2-out single in the 5th. Tuffy's 1 for 2.
We've got a cycle alert, partner.
Uh-oh.
Melky Cabrera of the White Sox is 3 for 3 and a home run shy of his 2nd cycle in his career.
White Sox lead 5-2 over the Mariners at Safeco Field in Seattle after the 7th inning. Here comes Donaldson. What a play. Josh Donaldson, the reigning AL MVP. It's not all about the bat.
He really does it all. He is a complete player, good base runner, real grinder. Just the attitude and the personality you love from your team leader, your offensive leader. I mentioned he was a Cubs farmhand. It was actually a catcher with the Chicago Cubs. Was traded to the Oakland A's as the Cubs were trying to bolster their pitching staff. They got reliever Chad Godin and starter Rich Harden.
Oops.
Oops.
How are we looking?
Rich Harden could throw 100 pitches in 3 innings.
The bouncer over the head. Travis throws it away, trying to make a sensational play. And Ahmed's aboard. Well, Marcus Stroman had retired 6 in a row in 12 of the last 13 Diamondbacks he'd faced, but an infield single there for Nick Ahmed.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Pinch hitter for the pitcher, Jake Barrett. Daniel Hudson warming up at the Sanderson Ford bullpen. So Huddy will get the 8th inning as Phil Gosselin hits for Jake Barrett. Gosselin 266 with a home run.
And that's a balk. Been called, yeah.
Yep. Nick Ahmed balked over to second with 2 outs.
He forgot there was a runner on first base. We talk about his windup and how he starts from that position. And
with the look on his face, I think you're exactly right. I think he was a little embarrassed. He had sort of that little sneaky smile. Oops.
Maybe nobody will notice.
Yeah. It seemed to be an awfully long pause. One and one on Phil Gosselin. Phil 40 plate appearances as a pinch hitter this year. He's batting .297. .266 on the year. Missed that time. Gosselin's ahead 2-1. Phil over his last 16 games hitting .311. 9 of those have been starts.
Oh, something else just came across the wire that is very interesting. Dodger manager Dave Roberts says surgery is a real possibility for Clayton Kershaw, adding that there is no guarantee he'll pitch again this year.
He threw a simulated game. It was supposed to be a mildly herniated disc, and suddenly now they might lose him for the season. Which begs the question, how will they react? Because they're obviously in the middle of the pennant race for the wild card and the division. I think you'd have to expect the Dodgers, who have had so many injury issues to that rotation all year, if they do lose Kershaw, to go get somebody. They also had to put Ryu back on the DL too.
Yeah.
Talk it would be Tampa Bay's Chris Archer. That's been a rumor flying around out there. 3-2 pitch to Phil Gosselin. Struck him out. So Marcus Stroman with 6 strikeouts gets through 7. Diamondbacks trail at 6-1.
In Gila River game nights by signing up at one of the interactive kiosks located right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game. And you better bring your A game.
Yeah, that has become a highlight here at the ballpark. 8th inning at Chase Field, and the new pitcher for the D-backs, the right-hander Daniel Hudson. 39 appearances, a 5.14 ERA. It's been a struggle for Huddy lately as trade rumors circulate around him. He's allowed 15 earned runs on 20 hits in his last 6 innings. Junior Lake, who was at bat when Kevin Pillar was thrown out stealing to end the 7th, will lead off the 8th. Daniel Hudson has admitted it's tough hearing your name come up in trade rumors, especially having already seen Brad Ziegler moved. And he admits it's going to be in the back of your mind, but all he can do is try not to let it bother him. Just go out there, get 3 outs when they ask you to get 3 outs. That's a Junior Lake swing right there.
Swung at a fastball. Unfortunately for Junior Lake, Daniel Hudson threw a changeup.
I hate when that happens. Oh, broken bat. Look out, Jake Lamb. Nick Ahmed's on it. The bat went farther than the baseball and almost got the D-backs third baseman.
Fortunately, Jake saw it out of the corner of his eye as he started to move to his left there and got out of the way. Heads up. Yeah, you're right. That bat carried a lot farther than the baseball did that time. Look at that.
That is a spear coming right at you.
We haven't seen nearly as much of that as we did in years past. MLB has done a great job of quality control of the bat makers, making sure that you don't have those sharp, jagged edges of the bat flying up into the stands or all around the field.
They have really upgraded the qualifications for the quality of the maple, the quality of the actual wood that's used. They've upgraded that significantly, and that's really helped. But the maple bats and the ash bats, they break differently, don't they?
Yeah, the maple bats basically explode.
Yeah, like we just saw.
Like we just saw. Usually an ash bat will break, but the bat will stay together. You know, it'll break, but it won't break completely apart.
And you'll hear that sound that's like nothing else.
Pitchers love it, hitters hate it.
But when Barry Bonds started going to those maple bats, the Canadian maple, they became all the rage. And it got to be pretty dangerous out there for a while until they increased the specs.
And with most ballparks in the major leagues extending the backstop screen down the first and third base lines to better protect those fans who are sitting so close to the action, hopefully we'll never have an event where somebody's injured by a bat flying into the stands.
Yeah, D-backs one of the first ball clubs to do that, by the way, extend the screen behind home plate from dugout to dugout. They were several years ahead of the curve there in terms of fan safety. 2-2 on Devin Travis. Base hit. Devin Travis has got his third hit today. He had 2 singles and an RBI last night. A single and a pair of doubles this afternoon. And now we'll see the pitcher Marcus Stroman, who will hit here in the 8th inning.
Pitcher Marcus Stroman.
Marcus Stroman looks like one of those guys that would get harassed by a security guard trying to get into the ballpark.
He's just a baby, isn't he?
Yeah, baby-faced assassin.
Just turned 25 years old on May the 1st earlier this summer. Squares to bunt. Here comes Jake Lamb. He bunts it back to the mound. Huddy goes to second and throws it away. Travis in at third, and Stroman, to his credit, the pitcher hustles all the way into second base. Error on Daniel Hudson.
He rushes his throw out there to second base and pulls it wide of the bag. Nick trying to keep his foot on the base as he stretched out for that throw. Couldn't quite get there. And boy, I'll tell you, Marcus Stroman has shown that he is a really good athlete in this game.
Baseball player.
Yeah, we saw a head first slide into second base earlier. Aggressively turned the corner at first and makes it into scoring position with a feet first slide this time.
That'll bring up Darwin Barney, the leadoff man. Second and third, 1 out.
It's the third error on a Diamondbacks pitcher in 2 days.
Ouch. They had the 2 errant pickoff throws last night. One by Zach Godley, one by Dominic Leone. Fundamental baseball. It's just not happening a lot lately around here. .96 from Huddy. Barney couldn't check, and it's 0-2. Drives this one deep to center field. Michael Bourne will play it off the wall. Travis will score. They wave Stroman in. And Darwin Barney is in at third with a 2-run triple.
An 0-2 pitch from Daniel Hudson right down Main Street to a guy that would swing at the rosin bag in a 2-strike count. Darwin Barney doesn't even like to get to 2 strikes, let alone an 0-2 count, but got a cookie that time and banged it off the top of the padding out there underneath the home run porch.
So Huddy's struggles continue. Now an 8-1 ball game. 12 hits for the Blue Jays. That'll bring up Josh Donaldson. Barney at third, still only 1 out. Donaldson has homered, walked, and doubled. He's knocked in 3. So Donaldson counting today now with 40 RBIs in his last 36 games. Big cut at that one. 0-2.
There's a lot of things about this Diamondbacks team this year that make you scratch your head, but boy, Daniel Hudson's fall from grace has really been remarkable. He was so good through his first 30 appearances this season, had only given up 5 runs through 30 appearances. He's given up 17 in his last 10.
Well, he said he expected some regression from early on in the season because back then everything it seemed was getting caught. It was kind of a BABIP situation for him, but now he says it seems like it kind of went from everything getting caught and missing barrels to not missing any barrels and nothing's getting caught. Some hard hit baseballs, some bloops and bleeders that have dropped in as well. Josh Colemanter warming up. But it's been a mystery, that's for sure. It's a head shaker. This is an enormously talented pitcher.
I mean, if you were to go up and down the Diamondbacks pitching staff and just grade guys on stuff alone.
Oh, yeah, he's near the top of the list.
Right near the top, if not at the top. A fastball that registers in the high 90s consistently with some tailing action, a really good straight changeup. The slider's been a little inconsistent for him this year, but when it's good, it's as good as anybody's.
Well, he's now been scored on in 7 of his last 10 appearances. Just upstairs at 96, and it's 2-2 on Josh Donaldson. Donaldson had his swing all cranked up, ready to go. He's got to be one of the most consistently hard swingers there are out there. This guy, he takes a rip every time.
He does, but he's not out of control. I mean, he's right on the verge of being out of control, but you never see him fall down. You never see him lose his balance. He just takes a very aggressive hack.
Count is full, 3-2. Edwin Encarnacion on deck. Another sky-high pop-up. Comets got it. Barney stays at third. Encarnacion 0 for 3 with a walk. Gene Segura, the second baseman, on the shortstop side of the bag. Jake Lamb on the line at third. Oh, Jake Lamb and Greg Gibson, they're old buddies down there. They've been going back and forth all game long, having a running conversation. Very friendly.
That's about as deep as you'll ever see a third baseman play for a dead pull right-handed hitter in Edwin Encarnacion. Jake Lamb, he's going to back up a few more steps from where he is right now.
I would not want to be a runner at third base with this guy up. He can't wait to hook the ball down that line. 2-1. Darwin Barney's down there with 2 outs after his 2-run triple. That ball is way back and way out of here. Edwin Encarnacion, that's his 26th, and it's 10-1. He's walking the parrot around the bases. The major league's RBI leader.
I don't think his imaginary parrot could fly as far as that ball just went.
His second home run in this 2-game series. Number 26 for Encarnacion, 471 feet. Jeez. 108 miles an hour off the bats. Diamondbacks down 10-1. Back in a moment. This 8th inning for the Diamondbacks, who now trail at 10-1. Josh, 13 appearances this year, a 5.68 ERA. He last worked Friday against the Dodgers when he pitched 2 hitless innings with 2 strikeouts, and he'll face Russell Martin with 2 down in the 8th inning and 4 runs in. Darwin Barney a 2-run triple. Edward Encarnacion a 2-run home run.
As disappointing as this is to see, it's not just the Diamondbacks. This Blue Jays offense has been battering people for 20 days now. Last 20 games plus today, they're averaging almost 6.5 runs a game. They're beating up on everybody.
3-0. Well, this has been Josh's role this year. Diamondbacks this season are 1-12 in games in which Josh Collmenter pitches. He's been the mop-up man, trying to give Chip Hale some length back there, and he walks Russell Martin to bring up Troy Tulowitzki. Daniel Hudson continues looking for answers.
Shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki.
Tulo 2 for 4, a single, a double. He's got an RBI. So Tulowitzki with 24 RBIs in his last 25 games. And he's certainly seen plenty of Josh Collmenter in his day. Josh gets ahead 0-2.
24 career at bats for Tulo against Josh Collmenter. He's 6 for 24. There's 3 doubles. That's another thing that's changed drastically in the game. You look at the batter pitcher matchups, and we get sheets before every series that tells what every hitter has done against every pitcher and vice versa. It used to be when starters would go 7, 8, 9 innings in a ball game and players would stay with the same team pretty much their entire career. You'd get 100, 150 at bats sometimes against a starting pitcher for a team in your division.
That's amazing.
It really is.
How did the pitchers stand a chance?
Constant adjustments, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, you learn, I would guess, not only the guy's stuff, but his personality. How does he react to what I'm doing? Three and 2. Kevin Pillar on deck. He would be the 9th man to hit in this Toronto 8th inning. 4 runs in. They've out-hit the Diamondbacks 13-7. They lead it 10-1. Called strike 3. Tulo didn't like it. Dana DeMuth says yes. He's up 10-1. He didn't like that. tonight. They lead at 10-1, bottom of the 8th inning at Chase Field. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. We are on an airplane to Cincinnati after this ball game. Day off tomorrow, back at it Friday. 3 games at Good American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Archie Bradley against Dan Straley coming up on Friday. Robbie Ray will pitch on Saturday. Zach Godley on Sunday. There's Archie. Marcus Stroman back out there. He's thrown 85 pitches, 57 for strikes, and Gene Segura, who's 2 for 3, leads off the Diamondbacks 8th inning. Segura a couple of singles last night, 2 more today. Reds have been at home this week. They played this afternoon and beat the Atlanta Braves 6-3. Just been handed a note. Edwin Encarnacion's home run in the top half of this inning. 471 feet, the longest by a Blue Jay hitter this year.
That's saying something.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's a sound you don't like to hear when you're on defense, but when somebody like Edwin Encarnacion or Josh Donaldson or Paul Goldschmidt, for that matter, Jake Lamb, when they catch one right on the button, it makes such a crisp sound off the bat.
That one off the glove of Stroman. Travis can't make the bare hand recovery. Segura's aboard. A spinning hopper back to the pitcher. A base hit for Segura, his 3rd today.
Center fielder, Michael Bourne.
Michael Bourne 2 for 3. It's going to be a break for Goldie here. Mike Freeman has come out of the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Paul Goldschmidt. Freeman can play any position on the field except pitcher and catcher, but he'd probably play both those too. There's Mike Freeman, just called up from Reno over the weekend, his major league debut. Still looking for that first big league hit. And slapped to third. Donaldson. Travis, high throw over the head of Encarnacion. And Bourne's aboard. I don't think they would have had him anyway.
I don't think so. I mean, Donaldson gets rid of that ball quickly over to Travis, who was a little bit late getting to the base right there, and Michael Bourne was going to leg that out easily. The ball actually got stuck in the netting in front of the Blue Jays dugout over there.
That's ruled a fielder's choice. And here is Mike Freeman. Well, if we can salvage something from today, maybe we can get Mike Freeman his first big league hit. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a walk. Called up from AAA Reno Saturday. He was retired as a pinch hitter last night.
Yeah. Leonard Skinner with his walk-up music there, a little free bird. I haven't heard anybody use that as their walk-up music.
That's unfortunate. At least it wasn't Stairway to Heaven.
See, if it was Odubel Herrera, you'd get to hear the whole song.
Yeah, because it would take him that long to get up there. Mike Freeman from Orlando, Florida, played his college ball at Clemson. An 11th round pick by the Diamondbacks in the 2010 draft, having a big year with AAA Reno this season. One.
A little bit of Russell Martin back there rattles his cage a little bit.
Ooh, he got one to hit too. Mike just under 90 games with Reno this year, hitting .317 with a homer. Russell Martin, nice block, keeps Bourne at first. 2-1 on Mike Freeman. Freeman called up from Reno, and Chris Herman went on the DL with a right hamstring strain. 7 seasons in the minor leagues, a career .290 lifetime hitter in the minors. He's off that one. He's ahead 3-1. Freeman, when he was called up in his last 30 games with the Aces, was hitting .352. That's a strike, says Dana Demuth. The count is full. Jake Lamb on deck. Ground ball to second. Travis for 1. Tulowitzki turns it. We'll head to the 9th. Diamondbacks trail it 10-1. Blue Jay offense can do a whole lot of damage. Second in the major leagues in home runs, behind only Baltimore, who they trail by a game and a half in the AL East. And they've hit some long ones. Josh Donaldson hit one into the pool 2 batters into the game. Edward Encarnacion 471 feet in the 8th inning. And that's been the bulk of the damage so far. Brandon Drury replaces Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Brandon moves from left field to first after Mike Freeman hit for Goldie, and Mike will take over in left. Kevin Pillar leads off the 9th inning against Josh Kohlmitzer. There's a pop-up shallow right center. Segura drifting out there, and he's got it. Junior Lake doubled in the second, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. He's 1 for 4. Hopper to Ahmed at shortstop. 2 down. Good day for Devin Travis. It's been a good series, in fact, for Devin Travis, the Blue Jays second baseman. A couple of singles and an RBI last night. He scored twice today. 3 hits, 2 doubles. He scored 3 times. Oh, and 2.
See if Josh goes right back up there again, tries to get Travis to chase that elevated fastball on the 0-2 count. Goes down with the changeup instead.
Brett Cecil has started warming up in the Blue Jay bullpen. Pitcher spot due up next. Justin Smoak in the on deck circle. Blue Jays got a good start of their opening day guy today, Marcus Stroman. No pitcher in Major League Baseball had given up more earned runs this year, but so far has only allowed 1. Segura drifts back there again. Josh Comenter works a 1-2-3 ninth. Diamondbacks coming up. Blue Jays 10-1. New pitcher for Toronto, the left-hander Brett Cecil. His 24th appearance of the year. The ERA almost 5 1/4. And Justin Smoak will take over at first base for Edwin Encarnacion. Jake Lamb will lead it off. Lamb, Drury, Tomas, 4, 5, and 6 due up against the left-hander Cecil.
How about this one, partner? Yeah. No walks in the ball game today for the Diamondbacks offensively. In the month of July, they drew 18 walks in over 500 plate appearances. 5 intentional walks, so 23 total in the month of July.
That's not enough.
Not enough. And Goldie's only had 2. Now, we talked about that last night as well. You know, Goldie's one of those guys that teams are going to pitch him depending on how he's approaching his at-bats. And he'll get into stages of the season where he takes a lot of first pitch strikes, and then he'll turn it around and look for that first pitch strike. And we're in a stretch right now where Goldie's been very aggressive at the plate.
Well, aggressive is the right word for a lot of these guys. Wellington Castillo is slumping right now, and Welly is not a guy who walks. He's a guy who strikes out a lot. He's stuck in a 2 for 27. Tomas and Ahmed swing at the first pitch almost every time up, so there's not a lot of walks in there.
And the byproduct of that is what we saw today. Marcus Stroman pitched 8 innings of this ball game and only threw 99 pitches.
And a guy who had been struggling coming into the ball game. Jake Lamb 0 for 3, struck out twice against Stroman. Cecil missed there, and it's 2-2. Jake 0 for 4 last night. That snapped a 5-game hitting streak. 0 for 3 so far today. And he strikes out for the 3rd time. 1 down. Brandon Drury now. Brandon 0 for 3.
Brandon Drury.
Brandon 11 hits, 7 RBIs in his last 11 games, but nothing on the box score today. Drills one into right center, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Brandon Drury has added again another double. That's his 18th of the year. He's got 7 doubles and a homer in his last 12 games.
And once again, driving that ball to the gap in right center. That's usually a good sign for any right-handed hitter. It means you're waiting on the ball. Good solid contact off the barrel. Drives that one all the way out to the pool in right center field.
Yasmani Tomas 0 for 3. Pitch swinging. Handsome Ransom's on it. Oh, maybe not. Getting thumbs down from our unofficial scorer up here. Hansom's had a tough day.
It was a range check that time. He was really going to have to go hard to his left to get to that ball.
Didn't get a good read on it, really. Hit for Tomas. He dunks it into left. They'll stop Drury at 3rd. 3rd hit in the series for Yasmani Tomas. Brings up Tuffy Gozawish.
Catcher, Tuffy Gozawish.
Tuffy singled in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3. First time since the 1st inning a Diamondback batter has touched 3rd base today. Drury at 3rd, Tomas at 1st, 1 out. Tuffy gives one a ride, high and deep, headed toward the bullpen, and that ball is gone. Tuffy Gozawish, there it goes, a 3-run homer.
Fly ball right down that left field line. everybody watching to see if it's fair or foul. Darwin Barney gives it a heck of an effort climbing the fence out there in the Diamondbacks bullpen, but that one way out of here for Tuffy.
That'll be the last pitch that Cecil throws today. John Gibbons out to the mound. That's a big-time jumbo jack, courtesy of Tuffy Gozuish and our friends at Jack in the Box. A free jumbo jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. It's a 10-4 ball game now. Back after this. Tuffy Gozuish. There are only 3 relievers in the major leagues who've worked at least 34 innings without giving up a home run, and here's one of them. New pitcher on for the Blue Jays. It's the right-hander Joe Biagini, his 32nd appearance. A very good 2.91 ERA. He'll face Nick Ahmed. 3 runs in for the Diamondbacks. 1 out. They trail at 10-4. Nick singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Pitcher spot due up next. Ricky Weeks Jr. in the on-deck circle. One and one. Boy, that was a no-doubter off the bat of Tuffy.
Yeah, the only question was fair or foul, but able to keep it fair all the way down that third base line into the bullpen.
Diamondback Live post-game show follows our ball game. And a good day with the Tuffy Gozuish homering here to have Tracy Smith from the ASU Sun Devils. He's known on Twitter as ASU Skip. He and Lightning Todd Walsh were tweeting out photos in the pregame show. They can't hold up. Eugenie gets the strikeout. 2 down. Ricky Weeks Jr. He'll hit for Josh Coleman to Ricky 239 and 5 homers. He was hit by a pitch as a pinch hitter last night. Check swing foul, and it's 0-1.
I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess that Ricky Weeks Jr. will probably get at least 1 start in that series in Milwaukee. Get him an opportunity to get in there against his former team.
Would seem to make sense. Had a great career there for a long time in Milwaukee. Parts of 12 seasons in the major leagues, 11 with the Brewers. Brewers took him with the first overall pick in the draft in 2003. Oh, pardon me, the second overall pick out of Southern University. Number 2 pick in the draft 13 years ago. 2-1.
Well, we know Gene Segura is going to get some starts in Milwaukee and Cincinnati and LA and everywhere else the Diamondbacks play the rest of the year. But Ricky Weeks, a guy that rarely gets opportunities to go out there at the start of the ball game and get 4 or 5 at bats.
Well, it's funny because when he's been in the starting lineup this year, he's been very productive. He's made 18 starts, Ricky Weeks Jr., and in those games he's hit .281 with 5 home runs. Ahead here, 3 balls and a strike. The bouncer to shortstop. Tulowitzki has it, and the Blue Jays take both games of this 2-game series. They win the finale 10-4. A rough day to be a Diamondback.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, as dinged up as the D-backs are right now, as ineffective as they've been as a team, you just can't afford to make mistakes. And there were a lot of mistakes made in this ball game, especially early on.
Diamondback Live post-game show set to go. Let's throw it out to Todd Walsh. Todd.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. We continue.